Welcome and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Ask Princess. Today, our topics that I want to go over deals with the government declaring pizza as a vegetable in our schools and the proposal of food stamps to be used for fast food. So those are the two things I want to talk about. Two crazy topics, but I think we can handle them. Before I get into that, let's go back to last episode where I posed the question in regards to the story about the 200-pound 8-year-old who was removed from his home. On Facebook, I posed the question, do you think it was appropriate, and do you think it was just the parents' fault, or do you believe the doctor should be held accountable as well? So one of my listeners responded, and this is what she had to say. Lois responded with, the doctors as well, and also the friends who had handed food to the child. He probably already needs more than just diet, but this has really added to his problem. What does he get at school and from his friends in school? I think it takes a village, and that his village needs a lot of support and probably nutritional counseling for all of them. Are the parents overweight? Probably mom needs a lot of nutritional counseling, not just telling her that the child needs to lose weight and to eat better. She probably doesn't understand the risk and what nutrition truly is. Thank you for that comment, Lois. And I mean, it's a very valid point. Really the only thing I've seen on this story is maybe like an occasional glimpse on the news, and I've seen it online through different newspapers and things like that, but I have yet to see the child or the parents. So that is a very good point. Are the parents overweight? Are the people in this child's family overweight? So that that's a very interesting point. Again, I do believe that at some point the doctors should be held accountable as well if this family has been taking this child to the doctor on a regular basis. The child just didn't blow up to be 200 pounds out of nowhere, and now you're pulling them out of the home. Also, in one of the articles I read in regards to that, there was another child, and it was all in the same article. It was another child that they pulled from the home, it was a little girl, I believe. They placed her in foster care, realized she wasn't losing any weight, wasn't getting any better, allowed her to go back home, and then with additional testing they found that she had some type of medical issue. So I think instead of necessarily pulling the child out, they need to do a full-on evaluation and assessment. But that's just my opinion. Any comments you have for that, please feel free to post on my Facebook page at ask_princess. Now, moving on to the topics at hand. The first one, government declaring pizza as a vegetable. So I would really love feedback on that, how you feel about that. I have that question currently posted on my Facebook page, so you can pretty much go and answer that anytime. I have a few issues with that. First off, does the government really realize that tomatoes are not really vegetables because they have seeds and how they grow with ovaries and all that kind of stuff? Tomatoes are technically a fruit. So does that make pizza a fruit now? So they're declaring it a vegetable, but technically a tomato is not a vegetable. The way that they're declaring it a vegetable is because of the tomato paste. So it doesn't have to have, additional vegetable toppings. You just can have like a basic school pizza, and the tomato paste will constitute this as being a vegetable. Have you seen school pizza? I mean, I know some of the people in Congress, some of the people in the Senate, they haven't been to school in a while, but have you seen school pizza? I mean, it doesn't even look remotely healthy. Now, keep in mind, all kids for the most part like school pizza, but it's really not the best looking or the healthiest looking pizza I've ever seen. And now some schools are really fancy because instead of having school pizza that they order from like the company that supplies their food, they'll have restaurant pizza, like pizzeria pizza from various chains. So So that's just, my opinion on that part. Okay, so the tomato paste is what is being used to declare this as a vegetable. But does Congress really realize what is in tomato paste? When you get store-bought tomato paste, it is way more than just tomatoes and water. They have all types of preservatives, added flavoring, added colors. Some may add additional salt. Some, you have to have some type of preservative to keep it in the can. So pretty much anything that's particularly good in this tomato paste is pretty much being canceled out by the bad stuff, by the chemicals that have been added. My other question that I pose is, since when does a topping, or since when does an ingredient decide what category your food should fit in? I mean, so if you put lettuce and tomato on a burger, is a burger now a vegetable? I mean, I'm just saying. If you're saying tomato paste constitutes school pizza as being a vegetable, if you put lettuce and tomato on your burger, any kind, turkey, beef, whatever, chicken, does that now make your burger a veggie? I don't know. You be the judge. You let me know what you feel about that. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and when I come back, I will talk about food stamps being proposed to be used for fast food. And I am back. So we just finished talking about government declaring pizza as a veggie, and now we're going to go into food stamps are being proposed. There's a proposal for food stamps to be used for fast food. So these are just, my views on it, and please share your thoughts on my Facebook page at ask_princess. So, I really think, well, let me just give you a little background. A while ago, there was talk about the possibility of food stamps being used for public restaurants. And I think somewhere it was just kind of more of an idea, kind of got shot down. Nobody was really talking about it anymore. But then the Yum brand of restaurants, and the Yum brand, just so you have an idea of who I'm talking about, the Yum brand, they own KFC, A&W, Long John Silver's, Pizza Hut, and Taco Bell. They kind of brought the proposal back up. They kind of really put a little fire behind it to make it more than just an idea, to kind of, I guess, really was pushing for some real consideration with this. From the most recent article that I read, I believe that in certain areas they have been able to get this pushed through or passed through. Just from how they were wording it, that they won't expand. So in order to expand, it has to kind of be in place somewhere. But pretty much all over the country right now, if you have food stamps, you cannot go into any type of fast food restaurant or any type of sit-down restaurant and purchase. In most states, because I'm not sure about every state, but in most states, at least I know for Virginia, if you have food stamps, you cannot purchase prepared meals. An example being, you can go to the seafood department and buy raw seafood, but if you go to the same seafood department, you cannot have them steam your food. So once they steam it, it becomes something totally different. So that's how it works. I know, at least for Virginia, that you cannot buy prepared foods. So that kind of brings me to this question. With food stamps, how do they expect you to be able to go to fast food and buy fast food, which some people declare as being junk or not as healthy? But if you go to the seafood restaurant and want to buy fish for your family, something that's decently healthy, if they cook it, you can't purchase it. So where's the fairness in that? Where's the balance? You can buy fast food, but you can't buy cooked fish. We can't buy, you can't go to the deli and get prepared food. If they have a rotisserie chicken or something to that nature, technically you can't buy it, but yet you'll be allowed to buy fast food. Kind of crazy, I think. So, also just from the standpoint of the people that I work with, I can honestly think, they think people are hungry now, but if this was to ever be pushed through, ever to be passed and really taken seriously, I think there would be a lot of hungry people. Just because a lot of the families that I work with now are on food stamps, and for whatever reason, whether they're not getting a lot or their family's large, whatever the case may be, a lot of these people by the end of the month run out. They run out of food or they run out of food stamps. And for the most part, they're buying what they're supposed to buy. They're buying, vegetables, they're buying fruit, they're buying bread, they're buying cereal, they're buying milk, they're buying everything that you typically need in a regular household. Traditional foods, they're buying this, and sometimes by the end of the month a lot of people are running out. So can you imagine if you can take 5, 10, 15, $20 and go to McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Applebee's? You go to these places, can you imagine, like, their food stamps will be gone probably within a matter of a week, because you go to the store and buy some groceries, but then, hey, let's go out on Friday. Some people only get small amounts. It's not like everyone is getting $5, $6, $7, $800. So I just think, even with purchasing foods that they're supposed to purchase, sometimes they're running out. So I can only imagine what will happen, what type of backlash, or what type of just disproportion will really occur from this. A lot of hungry people. Now, that does not say if they push this through, you have to go do it, but it's going to be tempting, at least in the beginning. Like, wow, I can use, my food stamps at McDonald's. I don't have to, pull this cash out and use it. So it will be tempting, at least. And it will definitely have to be some trial and error if that was ever pushed through for the family, so they can realize, okay, we're not going to be able to do this. But I think the initiative in itself is kind of crazy to even propose that. And I think the last thing is, and I do want to say that the Yum brand has decided it will not expand. Even though they were the ones pushing for it, they have decided that they will not expand the campaign for this at this time, basically due to the government saying, this is not a good idea. The USDA saying, this is not a good idea. So currently, at the time, they have ceased lobbying for this initiative. But I just thought it was something that should be brought to light and discussed, that fast food chains are now trying to get in on the food stamp market. So again, I thank you for joining me. That pretty much wraps it up for today. And any opinions that you would like to discuss or share, you can just join me on Ask Princess on Facebook. Thank you.